can Osmosis, the first decentralized exchange on Cosmos, replicate what Uniswap did or has done on Ethereum? Also, can AkashNET, the decentralized cloud, can it actually take some market share away from AWS and the likes of Microsoft, the big dons in cloud computing, in data centers? We have some very important things to discuss today, and also, of course, breaking down the market. Cue the intro. So the two things, Osmosis and Akash, actually have a partnership going on. When I say partnership, I mean, as I said, Osmosis, which is the first decentralized exchange on Cosmos, Akash will be the first pair to trade on this DEX. So very, very important milestone for the Cosmos ecosystem, but also for Osmosis. So let's get into this article. Can be found on AkashNET website. We're excited to have AkashNET be one of the first launch partners of Osmosis. AkashNET enables a new generation of resilient, decentralized internet infrastructure to be built, and Osmosis provides a gateway for anyone to take part in this decentralized economy. For Osmosis to be truly decentralized exchange, will need to be built on a decentralized infrastructure. Now, this is why I think AkashNET has huge potential, because when I read this article, it takes me back to what happened with the former president of the United States, Mr. Trump. And basically, I think everyone knows how he got basically deleted off Twitter. They had enough and they were like, get off, go away, go somewhere else. And he did find another place to talk. And that was another social media application. I forget the name of it, but it was more neutral. There was less regulation, less censorship. And what happened was AWS, which hosted this application, they were like, no, you cannot come here. We don't want you here as well. So AWS, even though they don't manage the application, they're not the owners of it, they were like, you can't, if you're going to allow Mr. Trump on your platform, then we're going to remove your access to the data center. So they basically cancelled them from the ground up. And because AWS are the biggest in the industry of data centers and whatnot, the others followed suit, and they all basically kind of jumped behind AWS and cancelled them. So what did this tell us? That told us that it's a very centralized industry, the data centers, cloud computing. It's only like 4 big boys that are running the show, and because they have so much control, they can dictate who can host applications on the internet, which is supposed to be a decentralized place, but it is definitely not, and that proved it massively. It shouldn't be up to them to control who gets to host what applications. Of course, there should be some rules, but at the end of the day, if they want to host whatever they want on there, then it should be a decentralized marketplace, and that's how it should be. And AkashNET are helping to facilitate that because it's decentralized. No one can shut down anyone else, as long as people actually are willing to pay for their services. It should be all good and fair. So that's why I think it's got huge potential. So let's read on with the article. So Osmosis are hosting their application, their API services on AkashNET. As I said, it's decentralized. So it's a decentralized exchange running on a decentralized cloud infrastructure. So it's beautiful to see. Reading on, it's been an eventful month at Akash. We announced that we partnered with Helium Network, very, very big, the largest peer-to-peer wireless Internet of Things network, to provide a decentralized open source and low-cost alternative for Helium's new blockchain validators. And they also welcome NBA Houston's Rocket owner, Tillman, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, Fertitta, to Akash network as an investor and validator. Fertitta is an early Bitcoin supporter. He has a track record of leveraging emerging technology and is working towards migrating his business empire's cloud computing needs to AkashD Cloud. So again, we're showing more use case or more use of this D Cloud from an owner of the NBA and of an NBA team, which is quite big. Moving forwards, as the demand for AKT increases with networks usage, one of our primary goals is to unlock Akash Network's acceleration and expand global access to AKT without arbitrary access restrictions. The decentralized cloud requires decentralized access. That is the goal. Now, in regards to Osmosis, the decentralized exchange that will be running on Cosmos, if you are a liquidity provider, then this is a massive opportunity for you to make a lot of money, because there's going to be a lot of incentives, lucrative incentives for liquidity providers on Osmosis. Now, normally when they're trying to get these things started, when they're trying to launch these new projects, they're going to give you great incentives to kind of get people on board, get people attracted to it and start the wheel, start spinning. So early liquidity providers receive a large proportion of rewards in both Osmo, which is the native token of the DEX, and AkashTokens. And Akash Network's main goal is to increase access to lower cost, scalable and developer friendly cloud compute in an open source and permissionless environment. Listing AkashTokens on the DEX aligns fundamentally with our ethos and vision for a decentralized future. And what a beautiful future that will be. Now, I've already described what Osmosis is, but it is an automated market maker similar to Uniswap protocol built for liquidity providers. With Osmosis, users are able to swap cross-chain assets within the Cosmos ecosystem and provide liquidity for IBC-enabled Cosmos assets like AkashTokens and Atom for the first time, while earning Osmo and Akash token rewards. Now, in terms of dates, Osmosis chain has launched today. That's 5 p.m. UTC, and the public launch will be tomorrow, June 19th. And Akash token liquidity provider rewards are turned on earliest June 21st. So keep those dates in mind. If you provide liquidity in Uniswap, for example, this will be a massive opportunity for you to make a lot more money. So very exciting things. And as well, you can, I think today's the last day for you to be eligible for an airdrop. But if you put your Atom address here, it will tell you how much you're eligible to earn. And also you get a bonus if you stake 2.5 times, quite a lot. And this is how they work it out. So do go over to Osmosis, the website, and pop your address in there if you want to see that, if you're eligible for any rewards. Now, the next thing, before we head over to the charts to break down these two coins, is now the content of this article is irrelevant, right? Because we don't care what this guy's lost. He said he's lost his crypto fortune and it's all gone and he regrets nothing. Fine, that's nice. He probably is lying for the following reason, and that is, every time I see his name, it triggers something in me, and that's because I've seen this documentary. And if you haven't seen this, I highly recommend watching this, because it explains a lot of this man's life. And if you haven't seen it, then you might assume, okay, this guy created one of the biggest antivirus softwares in the world, and basically started that whole kind of antivirus industry. And you might think he's got insight. He talks a lot about crypto. He tried to run for president. He's got insight in this game, so maybe I should listen to what he says. He pops up here and there. However, this man is not right in the head. I'm telling you, watch this. Very interesting. This guy he's got a lot of issues. He's tried to run away from the police in several countries, and I'm telling you, he's got issues. I just played a quick clip just to explain that this guy should not be trusted. And anytime you see him in the news, then you should close that tab and look at something else. So let me play this.
And he brought me 2 pills and a glass of orange juice. And I woke up dizzy and he was standing over me naked. He went from 0.
That should be all you need to know about this man. And that is just 1% of how crazy he is. So I just had to kind of talk about that real quick because he does pop up on the news here and there, giving his insight, talking about what he thinks is going to boom, his projections, whatnot. And, you know, he probably knows a couple of things about crypto, but at the same time, don't take too much of what he says in, because he's got big problems. Now, let's look at the charts. Firstly, quick look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, unfortunately, got rejected from 40,000 and looks to be heading towards the lower support level of around 34,000 on the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, 32,000 is still the last bastion of support. If it drops below this, then it's going to be very peak. However, again, on the weekly time frame, we have a nice trend line right here. If Bitcoin stays within this trend line, right, this is looking like an ascending triangle if you include this level. If it stays within here, then I'm sure after a while, it could take a couple of weeks. It's going to burst out of there and head to the upside.
Really?
I've said in a couple of videos now that I think the correction is over. I think it is over for the most part, as long as we remain in this trend. If we go below this, then it's going to be very peak.
Yeah.
I do think potentially there could be like a last shakeout to get rid of everyone that is still kind of holding, you know, tentatively thinking that we might head into a bear market. It might try to force those hands to sell their coins before heading to the upside, because that's how it normally works. How it normally works is it will push one more time to try and get rid of everyone, and then it will shoot off to the moon and leaving those people that are sold with a lot of regret. Ethereum is all similar story. We want to see it build from this low and create a higher low. So as long as it stays between this low and this high, we're safe. If it breaks below there, then we've got 1900 acting as the last point of support, and below that, that's bear market territory. So let's just hope it stays within this. At the moment, it's still good to go. When it breaks out of this level, similar to Bitcoin, it's going to go to the moon. Now, I do think Bitcoin is probably going to lead this next rally. It's looking a little bit better than Ethereum. So let's just see how it progresses as time goes on. So quick look at Akash network or Akash token. On the weekly time frame, it doesn't look like it's found a bottom just yet. As you can see, this massive wick, a lot of sell side pressure. It might still need to get the bears out of this market. As you can see, it's moving to the downside. This is acting as a little bit of support. If it can stay above this, that'll be a good sign. But on the weekly, there is no sign of a reversal just yet. We need to see, of course, a low being formed, and then we can start thinking about the move to the upside. Moving to the daily time frame, it's looking a little bit better. If it can build on this low right here and create a higher low, that'll be a bullish sign. And then the next thing we need to see is break this resistance at 315 and some change. If it can break that, claim its support, that'll be a bullish sign.
Really?
But at the moment, it doesn't look like it's formed the bottom yet. We need to wait a bit longer to form a higher low, and then we can start thinking about the next move to the upside. Similar situation with Atom. You can see on the weekly time frame, massive sell side pressure. This wick pushing all the way back down. It tried to test that high at $15, got completely denied, blocked and slapped back down. It needs to stay above this level of 1150. If it doesn't, then it might drop all the way either to this trend line. Actually, I would not say this trend line. This is just potentially. I say potentially because there's only been 2 tests, so it might not be very valid. But the thing that is definitely valid is this high over here at $8.50. So if it breaks below this, then it might just test that next level at $8.50. The thing you have to understand about smaller, even though Cosmos is quite a large project and is large in market cap, I think maybe like 3, 4, 5 billion. it's gonna run a lot quicker to the upside once it reverses. You can see here from this level, it was straight to the moon very quickly from $5 all the way to $20 in space of maybe 2 months. So just bear that in mind as you're looking at this chart. But it is looking bearish, I will say this. It's looking like it wants to test that level at 1160 and some change. It wants to test it again. It might push back down, break below it, and test the next level. On the daily time frame, similar story. It looks quite bearish. It tried to move to the upside, got rejected from this trend line over here, counter trend line, and now it's looking like it wants to test the support at 1160. Also, it does actually look like potentially this could be a head and shoulders, which is not a good thing to see. This is normally a reversal, so if it breaks below this, what could be the neckline, then we might see, or probably 850, but if we measure it from the head to the neck, potentially below 850, but normally for accuracy you can half this, and that normally is a more accurate target. So it looks like the next level could be reached if this neckline gets broken. So let's see. As I said, I think Bitcoin's going to lead the next rally, but the alts are not looking too good.
You dare say that to me?
Especially these two. So let's see how it progresses. I'd say keep this hand strong. In a month or two, this is going to be in the past. We're going to be way past these levels. Hopefully. Not financial advice, of course. That'll be all for this video. See you in the next one. Peace.